What's up my peeps, it is now time for the WWE No Mercy prediction game video, the second ever Smackdown exclusive pay-per-view since the draft. Backlash in my opinion was a great show, and I'm also expecting great things from No Mercy this Sunday. Smackdown ever since the draft has just been delivering when it comes to their shows, and in my opinion, Raw, Smackdown, the better show, I feel, is Smackdown. So anyways, man, we've got a great main event. AJ Styles, John Cena, Dean Ambrose. AJ versus Cena was great. AJ versus Dean was great. Now all three are in the same match. This has some really big potential. And we've got, I think, the most anticipated Intercontinental Championship match in a very long time. I don't remember an IC title match that I've been more excited about or more hyped up for than this one, because so much is at stake. We've seen Dolph versus The Miz so many times, but never have the stakes been this high. The Miz is on fire right now, but Dolph Ziggler's career is on the line. He either wins the title or it's over for Dolph. They said that if he loses, he ain't going to Raw, he ain't going to NXT or whatever. He's gone. But anyways, it's time to shout out the guys that got every single match right for the Clash of Champions prediction game. The winners are Josh Corey, Football Mad, and Sabres. 716. My bad. So, if you want to go ahead, check them out. The links will be in the description. If they have any good content or something you like on there, subscribe to their channels. Now, moving on. I would like to showcase somebody else's predictions. This person did not get all their predictions right. Actually, got most of them wrong. But it's this guy, K-Dog. So when I saw this guy's comment, I was like, yo, he's giving his predictions in such a confident manner. Like, he's really confident in his picks. He's like, yo, am I the only one that paid attention on Raw? He's got reasons for every single prediction. And he seems really convinced that this is what's going to happen. And at the end of it, he got all of them wrong except the Nia Jax one. I mean, I even saw this prediction, like his main event one, where he's like, yo, Seth Rollins helped Roman Reigns out in that main event on Raw in that steel cage match. You guys really don't think that Roman Reigns is going to return the favor? And Roman Reigns did not end up returning the favor. When I saw that, I was like, hey, he makes, a good point. And I can kind of, see that maybe happening. But of course, did not happen. Ended up getting most of them wrong. K-Dog, if you're watching this, what happened, man? You seemed so confident, so convinced that you were the only one that paid attention on Raw, but yet you got all of them wrong except the Nia Jax one, which pretty much everybody got right anyways. So, I'm genuinely interested in what your reaction is to what transpired as far as the winners go at Clash of Champions, and let me know in the comments. While you're at it, also, give us your predictions for No Mercy. So, let's go ahead, let's get started with the predictions. Alright, so we're going to start it off with Nikki Bella versus Carmela, the first one-on-one encounter between the two. They've been feuding for almost 2 months now, but this is going to be their first one-on-one match, and I'm actually looking forward to it. Now, Carmela has gotten the better of Nikki Bella in every single encounter they've had, pretty much. She's pinned her in a tag team match. He made her submit in a tag team match. He pinned her in the six-pack challenge. The only time Nikki got, I guess, the better of Carmela is when Carmela intentionally got herself, well, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but anyways, when she got disqualified against Nikki Bella in that tag team match with Natalya. But even with the DQ, she still ended up beating up Nikki Bella. So, going into their first one-on-one match, Carmela has the momentum for sure. And when you've got so much momentum over your opponent prior to the pay-per-view match, you usually end up losing. Especially in Carmela's case right here, she's got 2 pinfall wins over Nikki and 1 submission win. I think Nikki is getting this one this Sunday. Moving on to a rematch from Smackdown, Jack Swagger versus Baron Corbin. Now, initially, I was going to go with Baron Corbin on this one, because Swagger got a win over Corbin, but he got a submission win even though Baron Corbin did not tap out. And so I was like, alright, maybe they had a match prior to their No Mercy match, just so Swagger's first match isn't a loss because they plan on having Corbin going over Jack Swagger. But then I'm like, yeah, but Swagger hasn't won a match in a long time. Like, this win over Corbin was his first win in a very long time. And now that he's on the Smackdown brand, I feel like they're going to go ahead and build Swagger back up. And to do that, you need to give Swagger some wins, and SmackDown is in need of some, mid-card faces right now, and also some main event faces. So Swagger could use this win, and I think Swagger is actually going to get the win here, because I could also see them continuing on this whole storyline where Corbin gets screwed over, or, the referee makes a mistake in the Swagger and Corbin matches. On SmackDown, the referee thought Corbin was tapping out when he wasn't. Maybe at No Mercy, Swagger pins Corbin. Corbin gets his foot on the ropes, but the referee doesn't see it and counts the 3 count. So I say Jack Swagger gets the win on Sunday. And then we've got Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. So they were supposed to have their match at Backlash, but due to Randy not being cleared to compete, the match did not take place. Technically, Bray Wyatt won via forfeit, but that same night, he lost to Kane. And then he went ahead and lost to Kane again on SmackDown. Randy, for the most part, has been getting the better of Bray Wyatt. This is a tough one to call. Randy hasn't had a significant win, a major win, since his return. And Bray hasn't had a significant win in a long while, and since being drafted to SmackDown, I believe he hasn't won a single match. So he could also really use a win. But this is Bray Wyatt we're talking about. This guy loses all the time, or most of the time, especially against main eventers. But Randy Orton can lose this match, and it's not going to affect him because it's Randy. Randy's a multi-time world champion. Yeah, he just lost to Brock Lesnar, but they can make him the #1 contender really quickly. Like, a loss to Bray Wyatt is not gonna make Randy look weak all of a sudden, and nobody's gonna buy Randy as a challenger for the world championship. No, he's had years of strong booking and getting, major wins, so he can take the loss to Bray. The question is he going to take that loss? Does Bray win, or does Randy win? I mean, just looking at who has the momentum going into it, you'd side with Bray, but because of Bray's history, it's tough to call because this guy just picks fights with people and then loses. But I'm actually going to say that Bray Wyatt gets the win this Sunday. I know a lot of people are thinking Randy's the next person in line to get a title shot against AJ, and he might be. I personally don't think so, but even if they want to do that, he doesn't necessarily have to beat Bray. And a great example of that is when AJ Styles lost his WrestleMania match against Chris Jericho, so Jericho won the feud, but the next night on Raw, he competes in a fatal 4-way involving Jericho, wins it, and becomes the new #1 contender, despite losing the feud against Chris Jericho the night before. And on top of that, while in the past it wasn't that big of a deal, when they had Bray Wyatt lose a ton prior to the draft, because they had a ton of other superstars they could use instead, now that the brand split is in effect, and you don't have the biggest of rosters on SmackDown, they need to properly use every single one of the SmackDown superstars. So, for that reason, I say Bray gets the win here, but I will say, because of his history, it wouldn't be the biggest of surprises if Randy wins. But yeah, Bray is my pick. And afterwards, we've got Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss. Becky Lynch just won the title after a very, very long time of chasing the championship when she was on Raw. There wasn't a brand split, and now the brand split's here. Took her a while, basically, to get the title, and I don't think she's going to lose it this soon. So, I say Becky Lynch gets the win here and retains. And then we've got the Tag Team Championship match, Heath Slater and Rhino versus the Usos. So when it came to Backlash, my pick for this match was the Usos. And back then, you had the whole storyline of Heath Slater getting the contract only if he wins the Tag Team title tournament. And despite that, I still went with the Usos because I was like, it's gonna get a ton of heat on them. And with them injuring American Alpha, I could see them winning the tag team titles and then American Alpha coming back to chase them for those championships. And Heath Slater and Rhino ended up winning. So they ended the whole contract storyline at Backlash. Now that Heath Slater's got the contract, now that that's out of the way, I said this Sunday the Usos bring the gold back home to the Bloods. Or actually, they might have gotten drafted to the Crips recently because this week on SmackDown they wore blue shoes. So I don't know. Either way, I'm going to go with the Usos. And then we've got the IC title match, The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler, with Dolph Ziggler's career on the line. The biggest IC title match in years. And Dolph's tweets haven't made the prediction any easier. He's been tweeting out a bunch of pictures, you know, hinting that he might be leaving, being like, hey, if this is my last time on Smackdown, it was great working with this person or that person. And, you know, he might be trying to work people into thinking that he's leaving, or he might be trying to fool people that are like, oh, he's just posting that because he wants us to think that he's leaving, but he's actually going to win. Who knows? But I think that this Sunday, Dolph Ziggler does not win, and The Miz ends Dolph Ziggler's career. That's right, I'm going with The Miz on this one. I've got a lot to say about this match, so I'll have a separate video, detailed video, on my prediction and why I think Dolph Ziggler is not winning this Sunday and The Miz is going to win and retain the championship. So, moving on to the main event, AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose versus John Cena. I'm going to go with AJ Styles winning this match and continuing on with the WWE World Championship. He's beaten Dean Ambrose one-on-one. He's beaten John Cena one-on-one. Actually, he's beaten both these guys twice one-on-one. And I think he's going to beat them once again this Sunday at No Mercy. I don't think AJ Styles is going to lose it this soon, especially not before he gets challenged by Randy Orton for the championship. I know a lot of people think that's going to happen at Survivor Series. Personally, I don't think it's going to happen at Survivor Series. I do think it's going to happen at a later date. But I feel like AJ Styles is going to hold on to the title for a good amount of time. It's been a while since somebody held the championship for a good while. The last time somebody did was Seth Rollins prior to getting injured. Since Seth Rollins, everybody who's won the title held it for like 2-3 months tops, and that's it. So I have this feeling that AJ Styles is going to hold on to the championship for a good while until maybe WrestleMania or maybe even after WrestleMania. And on top of that, with the rumors of Dean Ambrose and John Cena going away for a while to film some stuff, that even adds more reasons as to why I think AJ Styles wins the Triple Threat match this Sunday. So, that's it for my predictions. Now it's time for you guys to give me your predictions in the comment section below. I'll list all the matches in the description box. And if you guys prefer the longer prediction games where I give more detail on the predictions, make sure to let me know by clicking that like button. And with that said, I'm out. See ya.